I mentioned, I have a graphic novel haul for you. I don't know how I've managed to acquire so many illustrated books and graphic novels recently, but I have, and I thought it would be fun to like bunch them all together in a haul specifically for illustrated books and graphic novels. Most of them are graphic novels or comic books, and then there's a couple that I would just call illustrated books. But rather than sit here havering away, I will just jump straight into it. So the first one I have here is very Halloween appropriate, and that is why I got it, and it is Witches Volume 1. This is from Image Comics, and it is unsurprisingly a horror graphic novel. I really like the colours in this. A lot of the drawings of the characters are quite like traditional like comic book drawings, but the colours are absolutely stunning. Every page is so detailed, and I just think it's really, really lovely, and kind of adds to the atmosphere of the thing, which is terrifying. Like, if you're looking for a scary graphic novel, check this one out. Right now I'm halfway through it, and I think I'm going to finish it tonight. But it's really nerve-wracking. It kind of focuses on this one family whose daughter was there when another girl went missing, and she believes that when this other girl went missing she was like abducted by some sort of creature. She witnessed the event, but obviously nobody really believes her. But it turns out there are some really creepy creatures called witches, although not witches in the traditional sense, out there, and they are hungry for some pledges. So yeah, super creepy, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Next is just like a little one-off comic book by Isabel Greenberg, and this is published by Gosh Comics, and it's called Dreadful Wind and Rain. Just a little one-off comic book, and I read The Encyclopedia of Early Earth by Isabel Greenberg, which is like a big full graphic novel, and I also picked up one of these comics before by her, which was called The Snow Queen, I think, was an adaptation of some Hans Christian Andersen fairy tales into a little comic book, and this was just a story of her own making about two sisters. It kind of feels like quite a traditional fairy tale, but the illustrations are absolutely stunning, and that's what I really enjoy about Isabel Greenberg's work. I love her cartoons, and I just kind of want to like collect all of her work. Are absolutely lovely. Now the next one is super exciting, and it's Saga Volume 5. I am not read this yet, but I'm really excited to really enjoy the Saga series. I know this one hasn't got quite as high ratings as the past 4, but I'm still really excited to read it, and I'm sure it'll still be good. And if you're not aware, Saga is like a science fiction graphic novel series, space opera, and it's really, really good. Again, this one's published by Image Comics, and it's by Fiona Staples and Brian K. Vaughan. If you've not seen before, here's some of the art. Now, the next graphic novel was sent to me by Faber, and that is Space Dumplings by Craig Thompson. And I think it might be one of those kind of kids books for adults, if that makes sense, or at least something that can be enjoyed by both. It looks like this inside. The pictures kind of remind me of the Jetsons. And yeah, I think it's just a science fiction kind of comic about a young girl whose father goes missing, and she decides to go and find him in space. So yeah, sounds like fun, and I hope it is. Now the next ones were also sent to me by the publishers, but I am so excited to have these. These are published by First Second, and they are a selection of graphic novels from the Olympians series. These are a series of graphic novels, each one about a different Greek god. And we have here Ares, Poseidon, Hera, and Zeus. Zeus being the first one, and that's in a hardback copy here. It's funny actually, they sent me these numbers 1, 3, 5 and 7, so all the odd numbers, but I'm presuming it's not terribly important to read them in order since each one's about a different god. They're kind of in the style of gods as superheroes, and I'm really excited to read these because, as you know, me loves some Greek mythology, and I just love the idea of graphic novels meet Greek mythology and kind of like fun takes on ancient myths. So I hope these are good. I know there also is a Hades, an Aphrodite, Athena and an Apollo, and more may be joining them, but yeah, so hopefully these are as good as they look, and these are by George O'Connor. Now next up is a traditional comic book, and that is Hark a Vagrant, and these are comic strips, and like this, little black and white comic strips by Kate Beaton, and each one, like each page or 2 pages is its own little comic strip enclosed in one, and this is just a massive selection of her work, and I think they're all kind of either like historical or literary comic strips, and they're just funny little comments on these historical events or these pieces of literature, and I hear amazing things about Kate Beaton's work, I have been flicking through this. I'm finding it not to be one that I read from end to end, but I've just been opening it up at random pages and reading different ones, and they're so funny. Her humour is so good, and I love her little illustrations. There was one about Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson in this in particular that just, oh, it just made me laugh out loud, because I was like, I think this all the time, and yeah, I'm so glad to finally have this one because I've been wanting it for ages, and she actually has a new collection just come out, and I'll definitely be picking that one up as well. On to the two illustrated books. The first one was a gift from my lovely friends Lauren and Jen as a congratulations for passing my masters with a good mark, and that is The Fox and the Star by Coralie Bickford Smith. Now, this is an illustrated children's book, and Coralie Bickford Smith is the illustrator who does the Penguin Clothbound Classics, and this book is beautiful. Quite a limited colour palette of like greys and blues and blacks, and then these lovely bright oranges for the fox. Look at that. Now this one is definitely more of a piece of art than a piece of literature, although the story is absolutely lovely. I've already read this one. It is just like a little children's story, but the art is absolutely stunning. I know this is going to be a book I'm going to be really happy to pass down in years to come. And last but not least, the book that like I said, would be of no surprise to anybody, and that is J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, the illustrated edition by Jim Kay. This was in my monthly favourites, and it is the new illustrated edition of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. It's huge, it's beautiful. If you haven't seen some of the illustrations yet, here's Hagrid and Harry in the boat. Look, it's Diagon Alley. The illustrations are perfect. Obviously, being a long-term Harry Potter fan, you can be a little bit dubious of somebody else illustrating one of your favourite stories, but I think Jim Kay has done a phenomenal job, and I can't wait to collect them all as they come out in the years to come. And I also can't wait to kind of reread the series in a new experience with these illustrations to go alongside them. So I'm going to need to do that soon. I think I'm going to do it around Christmas time, because the first time I ever read Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was around Christmas time when I was like 7, so I'm really excited to, you know, do that again, but with this illustrated edition. But those are all the graphic novels I have to show you. Certainly no meagre amount. I better go and read them all. At least graphic novels don't take as long to read as normal books. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye guys!